Level 80, worth fighting for. Jinlin's has something or someone on his mind. Ah, if it isn't Zilly, how fare you, my friend? Still keeping up your training, I trust. The Sultan's Sworn have not been idle either. Seeking ways to better serve our nation, we have joined hands with the Gladiators Guild. We train with one another, helping to hone each other's swords' arms. The guild even dispatches its members to assist us in guarding the palace. None of this would have been possible without First Sword Mia's cooperation. She is a dedicated woman, dedicated to her art and to her own, and I have the utmost respect and admiration for her. So it was with deep concern that I noticed that something troubles her of late, whereas before she was amiable, she has become given to brooding silences. Considered offering to lend an ear, but as a relatively new acquaintance, I did not wish to appear overly familiar. You are a close friend. Will you not seek her out and inquire after the source of her consternation? Yeah. All these sprouts. Oh, it's you, Zilly. It's been a while. What brings you here today? Inlands is worried about you. Is everything all right? What's this all of a sudden? Of course nay, I won't insult your intelligence by lying to you. You see, it's Aldous. He's returned to Ul'dah. He's been pardoned, so he has every right to be here. But I just don't understand what's going through his mind. Oh, if it isn't the very woman I've been longing to see. Oh, you got him a new look. Greetings, Zilly. You look well for someone who's been raising hells the world over. I see my attire intrigues you. When I took my leave after the World Cup, I believe I said something to the effect of still having much to learn. That's what I've been doing, learning. Remembered the elderly samurai who was making short work of our gladiators, and so I decided to journey to the Far East and train in his style. Never cared for convention or tradition. Is it any wonder we're confused to see you actually look the part? I suppose you're right, but if you have to admit, Mila, I look pretty good in this. So, Zilly, how about you and I have a bout, for old time's sake? Gladly. Heh, we're of a kind, you and I. When we see a mighty foe, we can't resist the urge to test ourselves. Now, as much as I fancy a rematch in the Colosseum, we'll have to settle for a humbler venue this time. Let's see. How about Scorpion Crossing outside of the gate of the Sultana? There's space there, if not a lot of people to watch our glorious match. Oh, don't you even think about fighting in the city. You must feed your vanity. I'll attend as witness. At the very least, I can explain the situation to the brass blades should they appear. Thanks, I appreciate it. There you have it. I'll see you at the Scorpion Crossing. I think the other one was closer. Oh well. Hey, I've been looking forward to this. Come, my friend, let's begin. Impossible. How did you become so strong? Found something worth protecting. I found something I couldn't bear to lose. You journeyed to another world and found something you couldn't bear to lose? Aldous, what's the meaning of this? There's no point. As I am, I don't stand a chance against Zilly. Of course not. You can beat me after level 15. Level 30. You would admit defeat before you've even fought? Unseemly I, but because of my training, I've come to know the power of resolve and the difference it makes. Forgive me, I need a moment alone. This isn't the Aldous I know. He's never once backed down from a fight. I don't doubt that you've grown stronger since we last met. But so has Aldous. That's why he challenged you, to put his training to the proof. Yet, by that self-same training, he could see that he was no match for you. Don't know what to say. Well, there's no use pondering things here. Let's return to the guild. Aldous hasn't returned. Wouldn't be surprised if he's left Old Da again. It wouldn't be the first time he's disappeared as quickly as he's arrived. Don't blame yourself. The problem is Aldous' and Aldous is alone. It's up to him to resolve it, however long that may take. At any rate, don't feel compelled to linger on his account. I'm sure you have much demands on your time. Come and visit again when you have the chance. Sorry for taking off like that. Truth be told, I'm ashamed to show my face, but there's something I needed to tell you. After I left, I thought long and hard on your words, on that which you said made you strong. It led me to ask myself, what is it that I wish to protect? You found your answer? Aye, I did. Fool that I am. It took me a long time, but I finally realized that it was always close by. Aldous? Mia, this is embarrassing for me to say, but that which is dearest to me, that I cannot bear to lose, is the Gladiators Guild. What? The old guildmaster, he was a father to me, and this place is as a home. No matter where my path may lead, the guild would always welcome me with open arms. I realize that now. Aldous, you. So if I'm protect the guild, it means, well, you know, it means I have to be at the guild. So from today, I'm giving up the itinerant life. After all these years coming and going as you please, sending nary a word, you think you can just stay here? You've got a lot of nerve. Why, Mia, if I didn't know better, I'd say you were worried about me. Shut your mouth. If you wish to stay, then do as you like. That's what you're good at. Ah, there's the grimace I know and love. There truly is no place like home. But just aside, because of you, I've finally realized what's important to me. For that, I give you my thanks. From here on, I'll watch over the guild while I continue honing my skills. Who knows, if I work hard, I might even become the first sword one day. Not on your life, no one would entrust a guild to a selfish bastard such as you, and skills or no, you're starting from the bottom like the rest. Aye, aye, whatever you say. It was good seeing you, my friend. Do come and visit again. From now on, you know where to find me. Level 80, worth fighting for. Complete. Level 80, once, twice, 3 times a warrior. Curious Gorge is in training here, but his mind is elsewhere. Oh, Zilly, how long has it been? I've been dedicating myself wholly to my training for some time now, day after day after day, but I fear my progress has come to a halt of late. You look well, a fair bit stronger than I remember even. What is your secret, my friend? How have you grown so much more powerful? So I got sucked into this portal and traveled to another world. I went toe-to-toe with this fellow called Daikas. I can't say that, so I'm not saying. Wait. I can tell this is going to take a while. Since I've just finished my training, why don't we speak at length on dry land? So there are more worlds than this, eh? That's a lot to take in, and this grandson, you gods, to see the woman you love taken from you before your very eyes. No wonder he struggled so mightily to pick up the pieces of his life. After listening to your tale, I realize what it is I've been missing, the one thing I lack to spur me to even greater heights. 'Tis love. I sent several missives to Dorgono, you see, but she has yet to respond even once. I've waited patiently, eagerly, but still no word has arrived. Fear has crept into my heart. Has she forgotten me? Has she met another? I cannot rest until I know the reason for her delay. I must know this is no time for training. Nor can I afford to be patient. Granson's time with his beloved was cut short. Who is to say ours will not be as well, or worse if it already has? It is decided. I will purchase passage on the next ship to the Far East and return to the Azim Steppe with all haste. I'm coming, Dorgono. Dorgono. Zilly, how fortunate you are here. I have been looking all over for Curious Gorge. The Marauders Guild told me he trained near here, but I did not know you did as well. What do you mean he's going to the steppe to see me because I never answered any of his missives? Is this a joke? No matter how many he sent, I would have never responded. Our people have no written tongue. Whatever reached us was probably fed to the goats. Anyway, let us hope that someone informs him of our arrival before he gets on a ship. So why I have traveled all this way, it was at the behest of my father, who wished to thank you and Curious Gorge personally for fighting on our behalf. I am Luvsan of the Corel, and you are Zili Lazathi, the Khan who stood with my people against the Kahan. But that is not all, for you also helped my youngest daughter gain control over the will of Karash. No words can express the depth of my gratitude to you. You promised not to speak of Karash. But I must. My heart broke when she was marked as taken and exiled. Never again would I see her, I feared. But then she returned, blood of my blood, master of Karash. My little girl, and it is all because of you. And thanks for your deeds, I wish to present to you 30 horses. Father, no. It is not the way of Eorzea to give horses as thanks, and besides, she is a traveler. They would only be a burden. I apologize, God. Now then, I must also express my gratitude to the others, warriors of the Maelstrom. Were they? I believe I recall the way. You have the time to spare, might you accompany us? Having traveled so long solely in the company of my father, I'm finding him increasingly exhausting. Yeah, if you got to spend a long time with your parents, it can wear on you. Love them, but Lord, it can be a lot. It is a pleasure to see you again, Zilly, as well as Dorgono. I am surprised to see her, as you doubtless are, and in the company of her father besides. I must insist that you accept a small token of my appreciation. I do not doubt my daughter was quite the handful. No less than 50 goats, I think, should suffice for the imposition. 50 goats would be a far greater imposition, Father. It really was no bother, sir. A pleasure, honestly, and regrettably short one at that. So much so that we were hoping we might see her again, so you can imagine our surprise and our delight when you arrived. If not horses or goats, then wait. Are you not the leaders of these warriors, yet you do not carry an axe? Why is this? That is because I cannot. Not since I was defeated by mine own brother in battle. He had succumbed to his inner beast, your Karash, and struck a blow with such ferocity from which I have never fully recovered. But it is well that he did, for I too was in the thrall to the beast at the time. Had he not given it his all, countless innocents may have died by my hand. It is not an unfamiliar story. Many a Corel has suffered a grievous injury which rendered them unable to fight. But I am a healer, and I can help you to wield your axe once more. This is in your power? I did not think it was possible. I'm a healer too. Pains me to see a warrior who yet yearns to fight but cannot. Allow me to treat you as repayment for your kindness. Oh, glad am I to accept. Thank you, sir, thank you. This treatment requires a quantity of shiver moss. While it is not native to your land, I believe a similar type grows here. Let us go and gather some. You lot return to your training for now. I don't know about you, Zilly, but I'm bloody excited. Shiver moss. Way up there, huh? Loved by the axe. Let me axe you. Moss of which I spoke, I spied in this place not long ago. We will need a moderate amount for the ritual to heal Broken Mountain. You and Dorgono can both assist me in this. Look for mossy rocks nearby and shatter them with a heavy swing, then gather up the shiver moss. I remember this game. The marauders are always breaking rocks to hone their skills. This will be easy. Use heavy swing on mossy boulders to obtain shiver moss. Like the first job you do is like a marauder, isn't it? It's like you go and you break a rock. It's been a while, but You wield your axe with great skill, Khan. May I have the shiver moss? Very good. Now, before my daughter returns, there is one other matter which I must discuss with you. She is a woman grown, and as her father, I must think of her future, of marriage. Alas, she has shown no interest in any warriors of the corral. At first I thought none suited her, but then I began to wonder, was her mind made up? Had she already chosen a suitor? Realizing this, I persuaded her to come with me to Eorzea. Now that we have met, I feel more certain than ever. Dorgono has fallen in love with a warrior of another land. And I could not be happier for her. Who could disapprove of the champion who stood against the Khan? Still is the Khan of the steppe. I will not oppose the union of you and Dorgono. I offer you my blessing. My heart belongs to the sea. Did I mention I'm eternally bonded to someone else? Honestly, I'm not all that keen on the whole institution of marriage. So there's this bloke called Gorge. Don't mind if I do. I'm not that keen. Let's throw Gorge a bone. Hey, who are you to decide such things for me? I will not marry Zilly. I have already chosen a suitor, and it is not her. Okay, now I feel heartbroken. Oh, I see. I was so certain that, so, who is this other? We will not discuss this any further. We have the moss. Now let us go and prepare for the ritual. Pray forgive me, Gon. I spoke out of turn. Dorgono is right. We should attend to the ritual and restore Broken Mountain to the warrior he was. Oh, it's like up there. Thought it was going to be back at the dry docks. Love-san. I have brewed an elixir using the moss. Drink it now. Very good. Your body is ready. You must now receive the power of another great warrior. I can think of none more suitable than you, Khan. You must awaken the Karash within him once more. I bid you summon the strength of Father Azim and strike Broken Mountain with all your might. You bid her what now? All your might? Hold nothing back. Swing to kill. Anything less and he will be crippled, worse, or die. Muster all your strength and attack Broken Mountain with a heavy swing. Ugh. Okay, that's good. Seven hells, what is this? This feeling I feel welling up from deep within. This fire, this passion, this rage. Berserker. The beast stirs again. Its power is mine. It fills me with strength, yet I remain in control. Huzzah! The strength never left you, my friend. The injury was not one of the flesh, but of the heart. Trickery of the mind, a deception of the self. The elixir served only to steal your flesh and dull the pain so you could stand fast against the Khan's axe. You will not need it again, for the fear that held you hostage has fled. I see it was in my head all this time. It's no secret that fear can cripple a man worse than any wound, but I never thought. Gods, what a fool I've been. Thank you so much for helping me to overcome my foolishness, Love-san. You've made me a warrior again. Thank her, for a warrior of surpassing strength and power is indispensable for this ritual. No other could have served as well. Aye, for there is no greater warrior than Zilly. This is very Hildebrand almost. Went out on a limb for you, Gorge. How could you? You and Dorgono all this time? It all makes sense now. The letters, the silence, it was you. Curious Gorge, what is this nonsense you speak? What's gotten into you? Grrr. Oh, no, you don't, you stupid fool. Yeah, very Hildebrand. I am so sorry, everyone. When I went to the docks to find a ship bound for the Far East, I ran into some marauders who told me Dorgono and her father had come. So overcome by joy, I began searching for them at once, but when I finally found you here, I saw how you looked on Zilly with such joy. All my earlier fears came rushing back, and the beast within me seized control. It had better not happen again. You're lucky I held back. Next time I won't. And brother, is it true that you have fully recovered? You are a warrior reborn? Congratulations. It is like a dream come true. Indeed, brother, indeed. At first I struggled to believe it, but it is, as Love San says, I must go and join in the training sessions at once, and do not fear, the beast will not claim me again. Cannot thank you enough, Love San. It has been longer than I can remember since my brother smiled so. You've given us such a gift. It is the least I could do after all you have done for my daughter. Thank you for your kindness and your hospitality. Our time is short, however, and we must be on our way. Having said that, Dorgono, I am reminded that you are still young and want for experience. You are not yet a warrior fit to wed, and so I bid you continue to strengthen your body and mind here. In this land, it suits you, I think. You hear that? I can stay. We can even train together. I can show you all the techniques we Corel use to hone our skills. Aye, but first I must teach you my methods. You must come with me to Hidden Falls right this instant. You too, Zilly, I have a few final words I wish to say to you there. Huzzah! Huzzah! I trust you understand what all this means, my friend. Now that my brother has taken up the axe again, the competition for the title of Eorzea's greatest warrior will be that much more intense. Don't forget, I'm in the running too, you know. So keep at it, warrior, for the time will come when we challenge you again. Level 80, once, twice, 3 times a warrior. Complete. I am the warrior 4. Level 80, our closure. They will tell you you are the one and you are two. They will tell you you are one and you are two. You can choose. Zilly, it so happens I have a letter for you. Before we talk about that, mind telling me what you've been getting yourself into lately? You and your scions, I mean. I've an inkling, perhaps. Went and saved another world, as it happens. Had to go and kill a whole host of sin eaters. Come again? Reflections of the Source, Parallel Worlds, Sin Eaters. What in the 7 hells are you on about? Something tells me this is only going to make any kind of sense if you walk me through it from the beginning, step by step. Right then, so to sum up, you were swept up into yet another realm shaking conflict, were you? That hyphen at the end of the thing threw me off. Well, of course you were. You've an insatiable hunger for it, don't you? And even when you bite off more than you can chew, you refuse to let go. But as if you didn't know. Hell, from the moment I laid eyes on you, I suspected you were a particular blend of impulsive and stubborn. It takes a special kind of bastard to become a dark knight, much less a warrior of light, don't you think? You traveled unto a doomed world and pledged your sword to a futile cause. You fought and you fought and you fought, and in the end, you won the day. Though I know it wasn't without loss, without sacrifice, victories like that are always bought with blood. And you and your comrades paid that price all the same. That faraway land and her people live on because you all were willing to fight to the bitter end because you were too stubborn to die. And because of love, I'm sure. Being grim and dark will only get you so far, don't you remember? It's like the Mughals, like Sir Pagne himself said, the flame in the abyss, the love you bear for the ones you hold most dear, that is the source of true strength. Tilly could have never made it this far if her heart wasn't filled to the brim with love. Yeah. Is this a roundabout way of asking me about my heart's desires? I'd sooner pose that question to Sid. I love killing stuff. Let's not say we did, eh? I'm sure that Thancred fellow you mentioned would provide a far more meaningful and interesting response. Having to look after the reincarnation of his surrogate daughter is certainly, though I suppose on some level I can relate. What? I've not once thought of you as my father. Well, no, I mean, we're not even the same race, so of course no one would ever look at us and assume. What, if you want to put a label on it, then what would you prefer? Master and disciple, manservant and noblewoman? Sid? How about Chocobo's arse, whatever you damn well like? Gods, you can be daft sometimes. Hey, what did I tell you about calling me that? Children, am I right? Best we give her a moment to cool her head. For now, let's talk about that letter I mentioned earlier. Addressed to you, but who penned it I cannot say. It was delivered to me by a young woman of the Broom. Lunny, I believe her name was. Said she'd seen us with you out and about in Ishgard before and reckoned that if she left with us, you'd eventually be around to pick it up. Before you ask, no, I have not taken a peek, so its contents remain a complete and utter mystery to me. As for the cinder, you'll have to pester Lunny at the Holy Stables if you want to know more. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an angry girl to mollify. Lunny or Loony? He's Loony. I have to read the letter. Within the sealed envelope is a paper which you unfold to find a message written in a strangely familiar scrawl. To Lizatha, you'll forgive me for the sudden correspondence and the secrecy. You helped me in a way. Once upon a time, it's past time I said as much, and so here we are. Feels like a lifetime ago. Come to think on it, you've been through quite a lot since then, accomplished incredible things. I'd like to think that in some way I was a part of your journey. Far from the best, no doubt, but for me in my own journey, I think it's safe to say that you've been, well, there's no suitable words to describe it, really. I've done things, made decisions. Looking back, I can't help but feel more than a little foolish, but such is life, and we have to seize what few opportunities we have for closure, even if it is through the written word and not face to face. Wherever you are, I hope you're happy, still fighting, still adventuring, still doing what you love. Be well. Letter bears no signature or any obvious clues as to the author's identity. Perhaps Loony can shed light on this mystery. Probably Lunny, but funnier to say Loony. If only to me. It's you. It's really you. My hero. Honestly, I never thought I'd get to see you again, much less speak with you. Oh, I'm sorry. You probably don't remember me at all, do you? I'm not surprised. All in a day's work, I suppose, saving silly little fools like me. It was so long ago when you rescued me from those temple knights who were trying to take me away from my grandmother. I still remember it like it was yesterday, though you swinging that great big sword of yours, bellowing all kinds of terrible threats and sending them running. I'm sure some might say you overdid it, but thanks to you, my grandmother and I never heard from that lot again. And ever since Sir Amaric and his allies came into power, we've had a lot less of that trouble all over. But let me guess, you didn't come all this way just to see me, did you? The letter, huh? I thought so. It wasn't me who wrote it, I can tell you that much. I got it from a knight I befriended after tending to his chocobo a couple of times, Sir Patronard. He said it was to be delivered to the hero of the Scions, a peerless warrior with 1,000 victories to her name. After he described your features in detail, it all fell into place, and since I was certain you'd eventually pay a visit to your friends, I offered to take it to them. Anyway, he's the one you need to talk to if you're after the sender. Maybe check the congregation. I mean, that's where the knights congregate, I presume. Whirling abyss. Valerian's Spore. He was walking. Patronade. You, I am. How may I be of service to you, Mistress Lothy? A letter. Oh, what a relief it is to see that it arrived unmolested. It was entrusted to me by Aurella of Rauger's Reach. After the battle at the Gimlet Dark, I spent a few nights there, you see. I can only assume that whoever sent it to the Reach had heard tell of the battle between you and Lord Xenos, and how you had been brought to the Barber. However, by the time it arrived, you had long since been spirited away to Ishgard. Had Looney not recognized you from my stories, I do not know how I might have seen it to your hand. If you seek the author, mayhap you should pay a visit to the Reach. I know only what I told you, but surely Aurella can tell you more. May the Fury watch over and keep you, friend. To the Reach. Aurella's the one in the infirmary, right? I always forget about that one there. Those shards. Thought so. Pleasure to see you. Lost that long-haired boy of yours again. This is about the letter, is it? It came with a shipment of supplies from Little Alamigo, as I recall. I can only presume the sender was hoping that Commander Hext would see it to you personally, but I'm not surprised it escaped her notice given the chaos at the Gimlet Dark and after. Found its way into my medical supplies, and as you well know, I decided to let that Ishgardian knight take charge of its delivery. In any event, I advise you to continue your search into Little Alamigo. If anyone there knows aught of the letter's author, it would be Gundabald. Yay, fetch quests. Go here, go there, go here, go there. Better throw me some Aetheryte tickets. Well met. Was not expecting a visit. What brings you to Southern Thanalin this evening? This letter, you say, and you seek the author? If you read it, then you know their heart. You meant to them how you changed their life for the better. It is a feeling I understand all too well, which is why I agreed to send this letter with the supplies for Rauger's Reach. Yet you never were one to let a mystery remain unsolved, were you? You seek answers, closure. I will not deny you this. The Red Rooster Stead in Lower Lanasha, you will find a man named Goatherd. Speak with him, perhaps then you will find a measure of peace. Goddard. Where's he at? Up here. Like way up here. Flying Panther. Oh gods, it's you, but why? Why are you here? You really don't remember any of it. The Kakiran bandits, a certain merchant who may have overstepped his bounds just a trifle. You were a right bloody mess when you returned to the dry docks with my wares, and I do mean bloody. I say it is none of what I'm telling you ringing a bell, really. I remember. Not even the part where I refused to thank you and demanded that you pay me restitution for the property you yourself returned to me. Well, seeing as I've already confessed it, I may as well reiterate, it was me. That was just the beginning of my bad luck as it happens. A string of bad decisions left me in debt to some very unforgiving fellows, and before I knew it, they had taken damn near everything I owned. I was friendless, penniless, hopeless, and let me tell you, running afoul of the Warrior of Light had not done me any favors either. There was a time when I couldn't help but blame you for all my misfortune. Then one day, when I was rummaging through my meager possessions, I had an epiphany. Stumbled upon a package from that shipment you recovered for me that ill-fated day. Flower bulbs, stained with Kakiran blood, but viable for cultivation, still brimming with the potential to grow and thrive. Before I knew it, I was cradling the package to my breast, sobbing and moaning like a mad fool. For a fool is exactly what I had been. I had been offered a kindness without let or lean, and instead of thanking this generous hero whose hero had spat in her face. So I left that life behind, save for the bulbs I brought with me here, apprenticed myself to the botanist, and resolved to start anew. Wouldn't you know it, the stubborn little friends finally bloomed for me. I suppose it's only fitting that you'd show up again that very day. A thousand regrets, but none greater than how I spoke to you. I say this not to beg your forgiveness, but to tell you how you've changed me for the better, and to thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, because Frey was like, let's just kill him too. I do have one request. If you are amenable to it, I pray you accept a flower, one of the precious few that has bloomed. Token of my heartfelt appreciation for my personal savior. Admittedly, this particular breed is perhaps best suited for funerals and farewells, but if you'd rather not keep it for yourself, perhaps there's someone else who might welcome it. Free. Someone else indeed. Free. Earthus. Go. So we're gonna meet the ghost of Frey again. There is no response. Yet there can be no answer but this, can there? So let us wait for a time, you and I, in the cold and in the snow in the dark. Oh, while we're here, we should go see Harshford too. Clever, 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 or are we just playing it by ear? No matter. Wanted this once more than anything, a chance to speak and be heard. Neither of us needs it anymore, and if we were to look deep within ourselves, we would realize that we never did. We are the stories we tell ourselves, the brave hero, the tortured soul, the altruist, the pragmatist. They will tell you who they see, but you and you alone know who you are. I speak only for myself. If you find comfort in my words, they are yours for the taking, but that is your choice, now and ever after, as it has always been. Now comes your part to cloak yourself in the fiction, to breathe life into the dead, to give voice to the voiceless. As we did together that day when you gave us our answer. Was it ever mine? Right. One more after this. More combat job. Yeah, we don't care what you have to say. Welcome back. As you can see, Riel and I are getting along swimmingly, so you needn't worry about us in the slightest, not one bit. So, what of that mysterious unsigned letter? Did your grand search for answers lead you anywhere interesting? Old acquaintance. Closure, perhaps? That's so. Well, glad to hear it, I suppose. Level 80, our closure, complete. Level 80, Gunblades of the Patriots. Radovan and Sophie are settling into Revenant's Toll, yet still yearn for adventure. Zilly, it's good to see you again since we last met. I've been introduced to a fair few adventurers who hope to learn the art of gunbreaker, though having taught you, my expectations are perhaps a little too high. Radovan's been so preoccupied, he's hardly taken on any other jobs, leaving me with plenty of time on my hands. Those women who work for Rowena have me running about after bookstones, or what was it, stone tomes? I forgot which. Anyway, what have you been up to? Friend who became a gunbreaker, the man who protects his loved ones with a gunblade. About Thancred. How can that be? Learned it while in Imperial territory, eh? But that doesn't change the fact that I'm the only gunbreaker to have escaped the destruction of Bozja Citadel, and if I didn't train him, who did? That's it, one of the others must still be out there. Now that you mention it, an adventurer from Gridania told me they saw a man in the Carline canopy carrying a weapon a lot like your gunblade. A Rothgar, too. I thought they were talking about you, so I didn't pay much attention, but you haven't been back there since we moved to Revenant's Toll. I wonder who could it be? Sophie, why don't you say something sooner? If it is truly one of my fellow gunbreakers, I have to find them. Oh, a whole resistance full of them. We should probably go with him. Even if there is another gunblade-wielding Rothgar, it doesn't necessarily mean they'll be pleased to see Radovan. Perhaps Mother Mion knows something about it. Gunbreaker. Why, yes, a man like the one you described was here just but a few days ago. You're sure he had a gunblade like mine? Identical, I would say, but more importantly, he was looking for you, Radovan. As I was in the midst of explaining the assignment I gave you, he suddenly ran off in search of your former client. He was gone before I had a chance to ask his name. Who could he be, and what does he want? Oh, look, it's my favorite bodyguards. Oh, what a surprise. I was hoping thought we'd never see you again. Since last we met, my sweet Marigold has returned to thrilling audiences with her uplifting performances. As a matter of fact, we have come here to drink to her continued success. Do pixies drink? Then your timing and choice of venue are impeccable, for we have need of your help. Do you by any chance remember a Rothgar man who was looking for Radovan? He may have asked you about the assignment to guard Editha. Yes, I know of whom you speak. We had heard that Radovan was last seen making a beeline for Old Da, and we told him as much. He won't stay for long when he realizes I'm no longer there. I'd best find him before he moves on. If he follows a similar line of questioning, it'll lead him to our former client. Since Oriol is most likely still undergoing treatment, he'll probably end up talking to Gerard instead. I must say, he was rather fearsome looking chap, not the sort of person you want chasing you. Make sure he doesn't kill you or anything. Well, duh. Would you be Sapphire? Thanks to you, Tim and I have been living together for a little while now. Most of the money I earn goes to Frondale's Fronistry for Oriel's care, though thankfully we still have enough to keep a roof over our heads. Slowly but surely, she's improving, though she still can't forgive herself for what she put Tim through. Not sure I can either, but we're all she's got. Daddy says Mummy was very sick before, but she's getting better. Happiness comes easily to some people, while others have to fight for it. I hope you find the strength to support each other in the days to come. Thank you, sir. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, but a man was asking about you. A Rothgar bloke. Similar sword, too. After I told him you'd left Old Da, he headed off in the direction of the airship landing. Not again. He's probably already in Limsa Laminza looking for you. Let's go straight to Futag Yafutag and pray we're not too late. Limsa. We're just going everywhere, aren't we? This is the first time I've seen the three of you since that business with Guild Whites. Yes, as planned, his testimony led to the convictions of several high-profile criminals. Then, a few days later, he died peacefully in his sleep. I see, even though he knew he was beyond forgiveness, his final deed has made Limsa Laminza a safer place. If only he'd seen the error of his ways sooner. There was one other thing. A fellow an awful lot like yourself came through not long ago, and he was looking for you, Radovan. I told him that you'd moved on, and that he should try his luck around the airship landing. And he must have gone to Ishgard. He'll eventually find his way to Reese, who will hopefully keep him busy until we arrive. Come on, we'd best get going. Ishgard. What is this? I steal. It's the Rubelite weapon. Ah, there you are. We were just discussing that gunbreaker fellow you're chasing after. He was here looking for you, but I'm afraid you've missed him. Might have guessed. Back to Revenant's Toll it is, then. Hold on. When I mentioned Master Mamala, that Rothgar fellow seemed rather taken aback and then asked where he could find him. I didn't see any reason not to tell him so. You bloody fool. If a Bojin survivor is looking for him, his life could be in danger. By the Fury, what have I done? Where is Mamala? He went to inspect the exterior walls of Camp Dragonhead, so he's probably at Providence Point. Yeah, it's the Rubelite weapon. We don't have any glowy weapons for Gunbreaker yet, until we're done with Bozja. The point. Voices up ahead. With me, Zilly. Stop. Radovan, I've been looking everywhere for you. Get away from him, Rostic. Please calm yourself, Radovan. He means me no harm. Like you, I've chosen to put the past behind me. In fact, I came here to ask for Mamala's aid in rebuilding Bozja Citadel. But that's impossible? Far from it. You see, we were not the only ones to escape the destruction of our home. Those who were away on missions or visiting other settlements were spared. And there's a chance that... Listen, Radovan, your family is gone, lost in the blast, the monarchy too, and yet our clan lives on. I will seek out survivors so that we may build a home together, and if we cannot return to where Bozja once stood, we shall find a new land to call our own. Nothing will ever right the wrongs I have committed. Even so, I shall do everything in my power to make Rostic's dream a reality. Radovan, will you join us? I am sorry, Rostic. I have already lost one family, and I do not wish to lose another. Though we are not joined by blood and are as different as night and day, we have each other. Oh, that's sweet. And that is not all. I have passed on the ways of the Gunbreaker to Zilly, the first of many, I hope. I too taught someone from outside of our clan how to wield the gunblade. We have much in common with him, Radovan. He too has someone that he wants to keep by his side, like family. If you meet any other Bozjans, tell them I would welcome their help. Perhaps one day our paths will cross again. Look after each other. Thank you, Rostic. Fare thee well. I'll see you in Bozja. So much for being a gunblade wielding murderer. He seemed quite nice, actually. Yes, I'm glad to have been proven wrong on this occasion. Rostic is still as honorable and as wise as I remember him. Nonetheless, I appreciate your coming to my aid, and I must admit I feared the worst when he appeared out of nowhere, though he soon made his intentions clear. Never expected such kindness from not one, but two men who have every reason to want me dead. I'm grateful to you both for allowing me to work for the greater good. Speaking of which, I must fulfill my obligations to the Ishgardians until we meet again. Now that's over, we should return to Revenant's Toll and try to earn back the money we spent on airship tickets. Mordona. All this time, I thought I was the only Bozjan left. Now that I know that Rostic and several others are still out there, perhaps I don't need to rush my search for new gunbreakers. In fact, I think I would be better off working as a bodyguard again and show people throughout Eorzea what we Bozjans are capable of. Seeing is believing, after all. Maybe I could do the same for Dalmasca. Oh, did I not tell you I'm originally from Rabanastre, the capital? The city itself was destroyed deliberately, I might add, by the Garleans after the failed rebellion, but our traditions live on, and I think I'd make quite a good ambassador for my people. If everything goes according to plan, we'll be traveling to the far corners of the realm and meeting all sorts of people, though we'll still use Revenant's Toll as a place to hang our hats, as I believe the saying goes. Of course, with as gifted a successor as you, I'll have to keep training so I won't be outdone, or maybe you'll be the one teaching me next time. Level 80, Gunblades of the Patriots, complete. Gunhilda's Blade 2.